Oh, freaking busy.
Yeah, man. How's it been so far?
Oh, like good. Honestly, really
Yeah.
good.
How would
Like,
you say it's been? I mean, in comparison to like your lead flow before and then now.
oh, like I don't know, like way more than tenfold. Like way more than tenfold. And just even the the quality of jobs coming in is like there's a lot of like, more valued jobs where like before like I was a hit or miss. Like sometimes I was getting some like, more cake work, and then other times I was, getting the jobs that no one else wanted to do and had to do them for a unfortunate price. But no, now like I'm even getting a little bit more picky and choosy with the jobs I'm taking on. And like, before I wouldn't have even considered that. But no, just yeah, way more than I could ever imagine.
Nice, man. And then as far as your revenue, what are you going for this month?
Uh, so like I said, right now, like easy, like 20K a month right now by
Hey.
myself. And that's it's even not even working like full 8 hour days. Like some days like I'm working like 6 hours kind of thing. Like so it's nice because I can at least get my quotes and stuff in.
Mhm.
Like I said, at this point, I was talking to my financial advisor, and essentially we're at a point where like due to like, your leads, that my financial advisor says there's one or two directions that I can go right now. Either I raise my prices to wean out some of the smaller jobs, or I increase the fleet and take on those extra jobs at the same price. So right now
100%.
I'm trying to find a good second. If I can find a good second, then I'll be increasing the fleet to take on more work. And if I can't find a solid second, then absolutely I'll be increasing my prices a little bit more. And I've even kind of been trialing it already the last week there at the end, and even this week to raising my prices up and seeing people's reactions. And honestly, some people didn't even seem phased by the little increase that I made. And I mean, other people, I mean, there's always been the hum and hers that
Yeah, yeah.
no debate, but no, there's been people with the increased price that didn't even question it and still went right ahead with it. And that's the other thing as well. Like I'm not having to always wait for people to confirm their jobs either. Like these are people that they're ready to book the moment I get there essentially, and some of them want to book before I even leave to guarantee their day. And
Nice.
I mean, it's again, like it's just such a difference. I did not expect the
Yeah.
change at all. Like even
I
my
like to hear, man.
advisor, like I told him about it, and he was super stoked about it all. And he was like, man, like whatever you're doing, just keep it up. And I mean, I get tons of comments from customers as well, being like, man, your ads were just, I just I couldn't pass them up. I had to click on them. So I'm like, oh yeah, well, it means they're working. That's a good thing.
Mhm.
And
Nice.
I've got lots of comments on them saying the ads looked real well done. And no, I'm super happy with it, man.
Nice, man.
I'm
And then
trying to create more content for you to though. Is what I'm
oh
trying to
yeah,
do.
no, for sure, man. I mean, you're on pace to do 20K this month. Imagine
Yeah.
if you posted more, and then honestly, to get to 40K, all you gotta do is double your ad spend.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's what I was like already considering. That's why, like, I know at this point, like I'm confident enough in this whole process working that I want that second person. Because the moment I get that second person, oh yeah, we're gonna up the ad spend. Because I mean, like even for myself with the rate we're spending, it's not much per job that I
Right.
get.
Yeah.
So by any means, it's worth the value. 100%. Like no man, it's like I said, I couldn't even have start to imagine. Like I remember when we first talked there, and I was like, I asked you what your guarantee was, and you're like the 15 leads, and I'm like, oh, like like that would be nice. And 15 leads was, well, that was like 15 leads ago.
Yeah, dude, I think
I'm
we're
pretty sure
we're doing like 60
this
now.
month,
We're at
like we
60.
got like, well, I have to go through the high level there, but yeah, no, we got 60 messages alone.
Yeah.
And but even like the jobs that came through and confirmed at the moment, like yeah, no, it was well worth it. But yeah, no, I just that's the other thing. Like being by myself, I have no time to quote. do the work, get everything ready, and still get behind the scenes done on the being in the office and stuff like that. And so no, that's where like again, I'd like to see that. Even the financial advisor said like he would like to see that kind of next step, so that way we can start getting that stuff organized. Because I mean, like without it being organized, it already shows its value.
Yeah,
And I could just imagine if like I finally sat down and organized it all, that value would just be that much more important kind of thing. So
100%, man. And as far as like, I know you said that I forgot what goal you said when we first talked. You said you were doing about 7 or 5
yeah,
K. What was it?
I was doing well under 10, and like I told you, I was like, man, like I would just like to make like 4 grand a month. So it was like 16,000. I was like, if we can just hit the 15, I'd be happy. And no, we hit the 15 and then some. And the 15, I was expecting to have to bust my ass for it and work like 10-hour days. But no, like we hit the 20, and again, like some days I was barely even putting in 6 hours. Like it was a comfortable rate. Last week there was a little bit different. The heat slowed me down. So I mean the job wouldn't have taken nearly as long as it did. It just took me that long doing it at a comfortable pace in the
Yeah.
heat. So, but no, otherwise, like, yeah, no, every other week besides last week being the outlier, like, yeah, most days, like, in total, I would have worked 4 hours or 4 days at 10 hours a day if I wanted to put it back to back kind of thing.
Nice.
But no, I just spread it out over Monday to Friday and just do like, at least try to go out to 2 p.m. and then that 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I try to get most of my quotes done. Otherwise, I just kind of go into the evening a bit, but it's all worth it in the end. So,
Yeah, for
but yeah,
sure.
no, the ads like I don't like even like I said, the financial advisor, like as soon as he like kind of or once I kind of told him the whole situation, he's like, man, like that's nothing. Like that's so much, like that's so worth it. Like I don't even like just keep it up, and like if you can grow to accommodate it, then just increase it because it works. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I know, like I couldn't
Man.
imagine it was gonna work as well as it did. Like even some people that like I knew they wouldn't have really cared. I was like, how did you feel about like like when you first clicked on the ad and like the messages you got to before I came up for the quote, like how did you feel about them? And a lot of people are like, man, like I thought they were great messages. Like I didn't even know that they're just kind of like an automated thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, like but as long as they're working and you're not picking up on that, that's the good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, man. We just try to make it as personal as possible. So whatever they're doing, it just looks like it's you, and they love that, especially building that authority in your area. I don't know. Do you have a bunch of competitors in your area, or is it mostly just you?
For other art companies. Oh
Yeah,
man, I swear in Canada, like we're one of the smallest cities, but we have one of the most tree services in the city. Like
really.
it's gotta be like way more, like at least 200 tree services in the city. Like
Oh my gosh,
there's only
dude.
like 60,000 people.
Yeah,
But like no, like even yeah, I've like asked people, I've like, compared my ads to other ads in the area. How'd you feel about them? And he's like, some people that's kind of also why they made their decision before I even came out. That is just the professionalism with my ads versus, Joe Blow just kind of making a random post and kind of, some people also put some comments in there that make them seem a little bit more like cowboys and stuff like that, where, the posts that you're making are a lot more professional and kind of catch the people's eye and make people kind of think about things when once they read that post as opposed to just kind of questioning if they should hire the person.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. I'm stoked to hear that. That's awesome, man. I remember you were like, I just want to hit that 20K, and I was like, we're gonna hit it first month.
Oh
You're
yeah.
like, I don't know. We hit it. I mean, what are you looking for to like next month? Do you want to increase it yet, or are you looking for that second guy first?
Like I'm hoping this month. So last month I was also I had a one of my buddies that when I first started off there, he before I, got you to start doing my ads, I was kind of not getting always solid weeks. So he was throwing me at least like 2 days worth of work subcontracting with him.
Hmm.
Um, So like I just kind of like, I told him I'd honor it for whatever days we've booked up for the next. I think we only have 4 days left in the next month or so with him. and I just kind of gave him like a really good price to for helping me out and whatnot, and just I at that time I just need to make my payments on everything to ensure my month kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So no, I told him after the days that we have booked up, so the last 4 days is the last days I'll offer him that price, and like I'll still give him a good price, but also I'm not looking for him to give me 2 days a week anymore. Like those 2 days a week were eating up a lot of profit because those 2 days I was doing it for $600 a day for him just to, again, like at the time, like I told him if he'd give me 2 days a week at the beginning or for every week, then those days would cover my expenses. So I appreciated him at that time, and I still appreciate what he did for me, but at the same time, like that isn't even remotely close to what I quote days out for now. Like minuscule, like most days I try to do 1,600.
Mhm.
Um, and then other days, like I'll a bit lighter days, I'll get away with like 1,200. And so that's why, like, if I now losing those 2 days a week with him, like moving forwards, I'd like to see that even increase. Like I'd like to maybe even hit closer to the 7 or 8 grand a week kind of thing in this next month by myself. But for the entire month, like I'm gonna be seeking out that second person. Like I'd like to see that. I think if I had that second person, like with you, like I could see that going up to 35,000 minute like minimum, and then maybe even
Oh,
that
yeah.
40K mark.
Oh, dude, you can scale to whatever you want. That's the thing. This is like a machine. You put an input in and you get an input out. The only thing that we needed was to get the numbers. That first month, we got them. So we got off your statistics right now. I mean, we're only spending, what is it, $35 a day on ads?
Oh yeah,
That's like
nothing.
$1,000 a month.
Yeah.
You're
Well, that's what I
flipping
mean.
that.
Like I told the financial advisor that, and he's like, man, like that's nothing compared to what some people have to spend to get work. And I'm like, I know, and that's only just the beginning. Like oh yeah, I know if we increase that,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Yep.
I will say it was well worth the investment at the beginning, and I appreciate the little bit of push to get it going, but no, it was well worth the investment there for sure.
100%, man. I'm glad to hear that. Any other feedback you want to tell me about or any
Um,
bad things that I need to help fix?
well, right now there's not much like for me like right now I need to get some catch up on my end to be able to even remotely close to observe your end kind of thing. Like right now I don't even have the time to really observe your end. Essentially at the end of the day it would just be I gotta create more content and get it over to you, and kind of keep those content always being updated and whatnot. But otherwise, like I mean, even with the reused content, like it still worked
100%, man.
amazingly. So again, I'm not even that concerned, but yeah, no, for me, like I would like to, and like I'm gonna try a little bit more to get some more pictures, and that would be also a nice thing when I get the second guy as well. Like I can actually start getting him to start getting more media, because I mean the media is well worth it, and having more would be worth it as well. So no, I even just trying to get that more content to get to you, and that would be about it. But that's all on me. That's nothing on you.
Sweet, man. And then I am recording this, but what would you say to somebody who is maybe on the fence about, working with us? What would you say to them?
Honestly, at the end of the day, it's everything's about taking that risk at the beginning, but like it's not a risk at all. It's well worth the investment. It works out. Most people, a lot of people are glued to their phones, so that's just how people find anything nowadays is through their phone. So being able to kind of get those people that are even just had the idea of tree work in their head and be the first person to pop up on their phone and kind of secure that kind of mental image of your company is it's a big part of getting the work. And again, just being able to show the work and not just say you can do the work, like having the videos. Like a lot of people love that video that you guys put together of me felling the big tree, me felling half the tree, and then me taking a chunk of wood off the tree, showing three different types of cutting procedures. But everyone ate that up. Like it was just, people seeing the fact that I can cut that big of a tree and not cause damage. It was I mean, a lot of people drew a lot of attention to that video, and so no, like it's all about, making investments at the beginning, and word of mouth is great and all, but I mean, you can start a company still word of mouth, but there's no exponential growth with word of mouth. Like this is the exponential route for sure, is through getting these ads made and getting it on Facebook and Instagram. And like that's where, again, people make Goliath companies. Like, don't see Goliath companies coming off of guys that are just doing word of mouth work. Like people that are putting money into ads, like I mean, even just looking at your other companies there and what they've achieved with you, like, again, like it shows that the investment at the beginning is well worth it 100%. Like it takes a lot of stress off of the individual, like not having to worry about that, finding that next day's work. Like you have so much work after making this investment that you don't need to worry about next day's work. Like you can say no to those jobs you don't want to do, or you can say yes to the jobs you want to do. Like it's worth the investment. There's no doubt about it. Like it's not even, even if you were to pay 5% to somebody to finder's fee for the odd job, like you're not even guaranteeing you're gonna get that work. Like again, in that finder's fee, like you're gonna spend a lot more money in that 5% on a day than you'd ever spend in these ads. And it just works so much better than that finder's fee. So no, 100%. Like it's like, if people are on the fence, it's just all about jumping into the deep end. Like, if you're gonna play with the big boys, you're just gonna have to take the dive. Like that's just
Yeah,
how it is.
100%, man. Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hop on the call. And yeah,
Oh
man,
no
looking forward
worries.
to scaling it up, man.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'll keep you in the loop for sure and let you know when things start to get ready for that next gear up. But
Mhm.
otherwise, I'll let you know if I can get some more content posted into the drive, and always appreciate the posts. So no, for sure, man.
Awesome, man. Well, you take it easy. And then if there's
Yeah.
anything else, man, just shoot me a text.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man, for sure.
All right, man.